Hi everyone. Today I would like to show you a mental health game that I was developing for people who have trouble with hearing voices. Voice hearing is a common problem with paranoid schizophrenia, but can also occur with some other mental health conditions. Before I show you the game, I would just like to briefly tell you why I've decided to do it as a game and what is the concept of it. So, one big problem with mental health apps is that people are not using them, basically. The retention rates are very low. People usually stop using them after 2 weeks. So, the idea was to make mental health interventions which are so fun to use that the therapeutic effect is actually a side effect of using the app. And this is why I've made it in a form of a game, which you will see later on. And I've made a minimal viable product. This game is very short, just to try it out, and I've publicized it on the app stores to see how many downloads I'm going to get. And as you can see, from August until April, I got 1,300 downloads. This is not because the app was good or bad. This is just what happens if you publicize an unfinished product. And it's more of a reflection of people searching for these keywords like schizophrenia, psychosis, or voice hearing. And this was interesting for me to see that there are actually people who search for these keywords in the app stores. So the concept is based on the cognitive behavioral therapy model, where the core beliefs influence our automatic thoughts and our judgment of situations, which then in turn influence our emotions and our um, behavior. And this is how this concept then translates into the game. It's a simulation of different situations where the main character, our hero character, Whiskers, it's a cat that hears voices and has the goal to go to university and study. Of course, hearing voices is not helping her at all. So we have these adverse situations where we have to decide what the core beliefs of Whiskers are. So what we cannot influence is her behavior, her thoughts, and her emotions directly, but we can influence her core beliefs. And based on that, the story unravels differently. And it can have a positive effect or a negative effect, which then goes into a loop. And then we have to play the last section again. So this is how the app looks like. This is the front page, and here you can start playing. And you see this character, Whiskers. It's a cat that hears voices.
Whiskers was studying for an exam that was coming up in few weeks. She barely took any breaks. One day she hears a voice that is coming from outside of her head. It says, "You will fail." Which core belief will help Whiskers the most? Only crazy people hear voices. Voice hearing can happen to anybody, or voices are divine messages. Whiskers believes that God himself spoke to her. She is devastated to hear that she will fail the exam. Which core belief will help Whiskers the most? Messages from God can have different meanings. Whiskers believes that God's message could have a different meaning. But what is it? Which core belief will help Whiskers the most? I believe in myself and my abilities. Or, I don't believe in myself. Whiskers believes in her ability to pass the exam, so she finds a more positive interpretation for God's voice. You will fail, but only if you don't take any breaks. She listened to the good advice and went to sleep. Good job. After waking up, she goes outside and everything is fine. As she walks along the path, the voice speaks to her again. It says, she is slow.
So now you saw how the game looks like. I think it's really cute, and it kind of wants you kind of want to take care of Whiskers. And what a lot of people who used the game, who played the game, also said is that um, by helping Whiskers, they kind of learned how they could help themselves as well. And I actually have a community wall here where people can put their feedback, and I've got a lot of positive feedback. And a lot of people also reached out and want to help with developing the game. So these are users who themselves have problems with hearing voices. And this would really be a great opportunity to make some interviews with them as well, to find out what was their motivation to go into the App Store and search this topic. What did they expect? How are they coping with hearing voices right now? How is that working out for them? What are their options? And then we could maybe, make a really, really good product. The only thing that I do have to say and be honest, I don't think that this is going to be a big startup or a big business where you can make a lot of money. There are a lot of people in the world who do hear voices. But on the other side, it's a market that is really hard to approach. And you saw the download rates for yourself. So I think it's more of something where you can earn some money on the side. But I don't have a business model which would make us a lot of money and a big company out of it. Nevertheless, I find it really comforting to do something like that, and I could, be your advisor. So if you are somebody who basically, and this is my pitch, if you are somebody who is good at app development or game development, or if you are good at making animations and you would like to work on this project, I invite you to contact me. Maybe we can do something together. I think it would be a shame not to do anything with it. But as I said, if I had a great business plan for it, then I would probably look for investors, but I don't. So, also another thing, in case you are wondering, this is not going to be a medical device, so we don't have to get certified or anything like this. The way that its concept, the way that it's made, it falls into the category of a learning tool. So we are not going to have any problem with that, and we are just going to sell it on the app stores. Yeah, and that's it. I hope you found that interesting, and I am curious to hear your thoughts. Bye.